I showed my husband a silly Lotion Man joke, and he got mad and walked out of the house. Turns out, he'd been cheating on me for a while. Hi everyone. I usually just scroll Instagram, so this is my first post here. Honestly, I never thought I'd write because with my husband he's 30, I'm 27, our relationship was great. Sure, we had little spats, but overall it was a fairy tale. We married in April 2021, and everything since then was smooth as butter. Today at lunch, we met our friends who recently got engaged. Let's call them Kai and Marie. It was lovely, but honestly, just a normal lunch. We took home amazing mac and cheese, which I'm scarfing down now because it's too cold for ice cream. We live in a tiny apartment, so my husband showered first while I put leftovers in the fridge. I showered after him, finished up, and pumped a little lotion into my palm. I accidentally squeezed too much and scraped the excess off. After I rubbed it on my face, a bit was still on my fingers, so I did what any perfectly sane person would do. I drew a little smiley with spiky hair on my thumb. Behold the Lotion Man. I walked out of the bathroom giggling and said something like, "Look, it's Lotion Man." My husband didn't react, just looked at my hand and blinked. I kept goofing around, doing a silly voice, babbling nonsense, tossing in our inside jokes. About a minute of that, and he suddenly stood up and left. I didn't get it, still smiling. I jokingly asked where he was going. He has a huge pickup, and after a recent trip, it had everything he'd need to live out of it for a couple weeks. It didn't sink in right away that he was actually leaving. I feel like a complete idiot for making a dumb joke and letting him just walk out. I texted him a few times. He finally replied he was thinking through some things and staying at his brother Tyler's. Since then, I've spammed him with messages, no replies, not even read receipts. He goes to bed early, so I doubt I'll reach him tonight. His brother isn't responding either, so I left my phone on the nightstand and I'm just holding my breath. It still hasn't hit me. I stared at the door for 10 minutes before I forced myself to stand up and text again. We've been together for years. I always make jokes, even stupid ones. Now I feel like a moron for doing the whole Lotion Man routine and not shutting up when he didn't laugh. And I'm confused. He's never stormed out before, even during our rough patches. At worst, we took a break from intimacy or talked a little less. I wasn't going to get into bedroom details, but honestly, my filter is gone. I get giving him space, but it hurts that he just left. And divorce? Ugh, I don't even want to think that word. Was my Lotion Man really that horrible a mistake? Any advice to get my husband home? Update 1. I followed your advice and kept my distance. Your comments made me seriously question whether my perfect relationship view matched reality. I still think things were great before this, but okay, everyone has opinions. You were right about some stuff and wrong about others. Those who said it's not about the lotion, you're partly wrong. Those who guessed something happened at lunch, you nailed it. My husband came back a couple days later. He apologized and said he was ready to talk. I agreed, tried not to cling, but God, I missed him. He told me this. We were at lunch with our engaged friends, Kai, 30, and Marie, 29. Buffet place, great food, and people kept getting up for seconds. At some point, my husband and Marie went up together maybe before we left, because I remember chatting with Kai alone for a while before they came back and we headed to the car. Either way, they were alone together a bit. Marie told my husband that when Kai proposed, she realized she was in love with my husband. But she accepted Kai's proposal anyway, and organized this lunch to help herself get over those feelings. Apparently, she then begged my husband to run away with her or something. Basically, she wanted him to leave me and be with her. Marie is freaking gorgeous, which annoys me because I'm mad at her. Classic blue-eyed blonde, model thin, kinda like Emma Watson, and I'm not. My husband gently turned her down and wished her well. But he admitted he thought about her a lot afterward. We all went to college together, so we know each other well. And when I showed him Lotion Man, something in him just popped. I had a towel on my head, was in old baggy clothes, laughing about something dumb. He said my infantile moment pissed him off against how adult Marie seemed. He panicked about our relationship and drove to his brother's. Then he came back saying he loved me again. I froze, asked a couple questions, and told him to sleep on the couch at least for the night. He agreed, but I couldn't sleep. I can't believe he was ready to trash us over a crush. The more I think, the harder it is to meet his eyes. We did Thanksgiving dinner with his family and stayed the night together. He seems to think everything's fine now. Part of me wants to forgive and forget. He'll be home from work in about 6 hours, and I have no idea what to do. Today's my day off. I'm a teacher, and I'm weighing options. A. Tell Kai what his fiancé did. My husband begged me not to, says Marie made a spontaneous mistake. B. Confront Marie, either chew her out for trying to wreck my marriage or talk calmly, less appealing. C. Call Tyler and ask if my husband really stayed with him. Tyler's place is very close to Marie's. That bothers me, though he probably won't say much. D. Do all of the above. Legal stuff terrifies me, so divorce sounds brutal but maybe inevitable. I wish I could just forget all of this. Update 2. First, thank you for the overwhelming support and kind messages. I did not expect this response. Some even DM'd me. Those chats helped a lot. I think my original post got removed. A few asked for a Lotion Man pic. I'll figure out how to post one later. Many of you had interesting theories and most were at least partly right. Most of you said do everything. Talk to Kai, Marie, my husband, and Tyler, not necessarily in that order. So I had to be strategic, because you warned someone might twist the story if they knew I was getting outside advice. And yes, this whole thing is wild and makes little sense. I'm still piecing it together and don't have all the details. Also, none of us are in a stable headspace, so from the outside it probably looks like chaos. When my husband came home, we talked. He told basically the same story and said he'd do couples therapy. I hugged him and started laundry. We usually split chores, but I was keeping distance, so I guess he thought I forgave him. We never really restrict phones. We know each other's passcodes, but he would notice if I suddenly started digging. So I started with Kai. A lot of you worried he'd tell Marie and blow it up. He's a gym rat, and I wanted to go anyway, so I used that as a pretext. He agreed. Next morning I met Kai. We sat down, and I told him everything I knew. Yes, I cried like a kid. At first he kept it together, politely questioned me, but then he broke too. Turns out Marie hadn't told him anything. That alone was a huge red flag. Then we went to Marie together. Some of you said to be careful, so I did the classic line, "I know everything." She pretended not to understand, then caved. You were right. The story about Marie simply sorting her feelings was total nonsense. It was actually my husband who started it. Marie said he suggested that before she tied the knot with Kai, she should spend a night with him in a threesome with another woman. And here's the kicker, Marie agreed. But wait, there's more. Marie had been cheating on Kai for a long time with men and women. And my husband had been cheating on me regularly. They covered for each other and occasionally met up. At the last minute, Marie backed out of the threesome because she decided to be faithful now that she was engaged, as if she hadn't cheated most of their relationship. My husband got mad, stewed, and that's when I showed him Lotion Man. He exploded and left. Kai and Marie were sobbing and yelling, faces red. I apologized for stepping into their relationship and said I'd handle my husband myself. Before sunset, I went to Tyler's. He confirmed my husband came over, but only around 11 p.m. and left at 8 a.m., so 3 hours are unaccounted for. Tyler said my husband was angry and wouldn't explain. I gave him minimal context, the Lotion Man part, and he guessed maybe my husband just drove around to cool off. That's not like him, but I couldn't rule it out with everything already a mess. I went home and checked my husband's phone. Nothing at first. I wanted to dig deeper but waited. Instead, I tried to fill his day with tasks. He goes to bed early, which helped me later. That night when he was snoring, I took his phone, combed through tons of stuff, and found nothing. I felt I was missing something. Then I opened hidden photos. Boom. His whole story blew up. What did I find? Nudes. Nudes and more nudes from one woman. Not me. And not Marie. I didn't recognize her. Let's call her Allison, after my second-grade friend who turned out to be a snake. No, not her, just a placeholder, because I don't know the real name. Allison was knockout, gorgeous red hair, hourglass figure. Everything. I was crushed, tracked the contact, and there it was proof. He was cheating. The messages went back to February, days before Valentine's Day, when I was planning a surprise and spending my whole paycheck, thinking I was the happiest woman alive. It really hurts. I wanted to throw the phone, but I forced myself to read on. Then November 3rd. She'd found out he was married the whole time. She'd fallen in love with him. Maybe I could pity her, but she never tried to contact me, so no. And then my husband had a brilliant idea. He told Allison he'd bring his wife to a hotel to show I didn't mind him cheating. Sound familiar? When Marie canceled, he had no backup. He begged Allison to come, then told her there was a complication and they'd meet another day. And then the Lotion Man. He got mad at me and left. I don't know what he did after, but it looks like he met neither of them. Then he went to Tyler's, slept, and came home later. I won't drag this out after that. I couldn't even pretend I loved him. Next morning, I invited Kai and Marie over. He bawled and denied everything until he finally admitted he has a weakness for redheads. Marie is more strawberry blonde. Allison is vivid red. He said it was the one desire I couldn't fulfill. Even me, the one who was head over heels, saw through his nonsense about loving only me and how affairs with Allison and Marie made him love me more. I said screw that and started packing. He begged, but even I, the one who used to worship him, knew it was over. Legally, the apartment is his, so I left. I'm staying with Kai now. He's hurting as much as I am. I get it, his fiancée was his whole world. We sat for a long time, hugged, cried, babbled nonsense, just trying to hold it together. He made lunch to cheer me up. He's a great cook. I showed him my posts, and he laughed at some of your comments. As far as I know, my almost ex is with Marie now. They can have each other. Honestly, it feels like a chapter closed. I don't have to tiptoe like the last few days. Kai and I are going to the gym tomorrow for yoga, unwind, and maybe decide what's next. We both took a day off, and I'm handling finances. I hope to file for divorce soon so I can finally call him ex. I'm still wrecked. My desk at school still has our photos. My devices still have our wedding wallpaper. My students will notice his sudden disappearance. I'll have to tell them the guy I raved about is divorcing me. I'll have to tell family and friends my main support right now. It hurts that we'll have to go separate ways. He was my only real anchor in this mess. Housing, divorce costs, lawyers, therapy, so much ahead. I can't believe I thought we were perfect. Thank you again for the support. Your kindness honestly saved my life and Kai's too. This place is amazing, so many kind people who care, follow, wish us well. I'll be back for advice, but know that I read everything, yes, all of it, and I saw your kind words. Author's clarifications. I've been scrolling comments and I'm amazed how many people responded. A few things to clarify. Not much has changed yet. It's been a week since my last update. My husband and I briefly discussed the upcoming divorce, and that's it. I'm still healing, working, slowly finding my footing. Ask me again in a year, maybe I'll be better. Allison, the affair partner, I haven't been able to contact her. Some of your suggestions inspired me to try again. About Kai and me, lots of you are asking, so here it is. We're rebuilding our friendship. I don't think we'd work as a couple. Kai wants a quiet, independent life for two. I dream of kids. He admitted he has very low libido, one reason he blames himself for things, and mine is high. Plus, we feel like siblings now. I'm not ready to date and won't be for a while. This story is fake. Gotcha, kidding. Sadly, no. Believe what you want, I'm living it, and DMs won't change that. Family, friends, students, my family is on my side. Most friends too, including mutuals. Yes, I told my students, and they were incredibly supportive. I cleared my desk of reminders. Next step, clear my head of Lotion Man. I tried to recreate him as best I could. We'll post a pic. If I missed anything, tell me. There are so many comments. I'm swamped, but I hope to chat with more of you by the weekend. Update 3. The Lotion Man years later. Terrible title, sorry. It's that time of year again. Check on your teacher friends. Hi again, it's been a while. Your continued support and New Year wishes are incredible. I love the internet sometimes. You were there during my darkest days. I've gotten dozens of messages asking how I'm doing, plus stories from people who went through almost the same thing. One woman said her boyfriend blamed it all on a new puppy. She even sent a pic of the tiny guy. It blows my mind how common this pain is. And yet your love kept my faith in people alive. It's been almost 2 years. Feels like forever and yesterday. Bad news first, Kai and I had a big fight. I won't detail all of it, or this would be 30 pages. Short version, we were roommates, sharing everything: chores, groceries, life. We always knew each other's schedules because we shared a home and budget. At one point, Kai said he was going on a date. Great, I was happy for him. I was still in the thick of the divorce, emotionally wrecked, not thinking about dating. Kai and Marie hadn't made it to the wedding, so his breakup was a bit easier, but still hard. He went on one date, then a second. A week later, radio silence. I asked what happened. He said she ghosted. Another week, and suddenly, boom, he said he was seeing Marie. I know, wild. He told me this crying like a kid. I couldn't help but pity him. Healing after destroyed relationships isn't easy. He said those dates made him realize it was really over for good. He described it like this, maybe I'm paraphrasing. When he first met Marie, she was the sweet girl next door with a polite store clerk smile. When he got to know her, he found the fun, free spirit he fell in love with. When he saw her again months later, she'd reset to factory settings. It hit him hard, like all the pain came back. After 2 dates, he didn't just ghost, he blocked her everywhere. It was tough to hear too much like my own situation, but I comforted him. Then a few calm months. Kai turned me into a real gym girl. If you read my old posts, it's funny how skeptical I was. A few peaceful months later, Kai announced another date, this time with a friend of a friend. I cheered him on. Because we co-managed a home, I noticed when he'd leave at 2 p.m. and get back at 8, and these dates were that long or longer. I said nothing, figured he was smitten. But it stood out, he even asked me to run errands for him because he wouldn't have time thanks to these long dates. Eventually, I met the girl Grace. Mid-20s, very sweet, also a teacher elementary school, so we had plenty to talk about. Everything looked perfect. Summer rolled on, I finalized my divorce. But these dates were endless. His short ones lasted 3-4 hours. He was vanishing. I finally brought it up gently. Kai said Grace usually picked the venues an hour or two away with traffic. I asked where Grace lived, maybe they were meeting halfway. He said, I don't really know. Alarm bells. Maybe I've read too many infidelity forums, but it felt off. Grace couldn't live that far, she knew our mutual friend. They'd been dating months, she'd eaten dinner at our place, yet he didn't know where she lived, and all their dates were far away. Weird. So, yeah. I probably crossed a line. I searched Instagram, typed her name, and there she was in a wedding dress with a guy named Mike. Photo from 2019. She's married. What the heck? I jumped up and woke Kai. Yes, I know. Awful timing, midnight. He wakes at 7, and I burst into his room waving my phone like a maniac. When I finally shut up, he exploded furious. He grilled me for digging into his business. When I listed the red flags, he got angrier. It turned into a full fight. He yelled I'd crossed huge boundaries, which is partly true, but we lived side by side and always knew each other's lives. I asked why he was mad at me for worrying about him. The argument escalated. Then he jumped to a new level, claimed I had a crush on him, that our relationship had crossed into something more, and that's why I was stalking him. I blew up and said awful things I regret. I brought up Marie and told him I wouldn't date him for $1 million. He yelled back and called me names. I left. It was ugly. In the morning, he woke me before leaving. I thought he'd apologize, but he dropped a bomb. He said he'd held in for a while. Kai knew. He knew Grace was married almost from the start and didn't care. Her husband is a good guy, but Grace told Kai she didn't feel anything for him anymore. That's why Kai didn't mind gas money for long drives. I was stunned. I asked how he'd feel if Marie's lovers knew she was taken and slept with her anyway. He snapped not to bring up Marie. We argued again, not as loud, but heated. He said he didn't tell me because he knew I'd make a scene. I said cheating is a raw wound for me, and I expected it to be for him too. He said it wasn't, and added that living with me was like being in a relationship that I had no right to meddle in his private life. I said, okay, date whomever you want. I just want you to know you're helping her cheat. I didn't want it spiraling, but he said he didn't care and left for work. I'm not his mom. I can't dictate who he sleeps with. I just thought he should know he's the other man. In his place, I'd stop immediately and I'd want someone to tell me if my partner were married. But if his morals differ even after what we went through, fine. I just couldn't keep living with someone who excuses infidelity and joins in. I didn't have to move out. Kai was kind enough not to kick me out, but the vibe turned cold and strained. I lost respect for him. He kept seeing Grace and thought I had feelings for him. It sucked. I packed and moved to a friend's place far from work, but better. As for my ex, soon after the divorce was final, he got engaged. Around the same time, right after I moved, I hit rock bottom. My district was in panic over AI and student work. I was rebuilding life in a place where I knew no one. I felt alone and exhausted. I tried a couple dates so mediocre I quit, which ironically made the loneliness worse. Then my ex reached out, announced his engagement, his new life, how great everything is. He wanted to apologize like a man, promised it wasn't a date and expected nothing. I should have been tougher, but life had drained me. I felt empty and pathetic and, like a fool, agreed, hoping a real apology would help me let go. At first it was polite. He even apologized sincerely. Then he started prying, and I accidentally revealed I was struggling. He smirked Cheshire Cat style and began bragging about his new life, hot fiancé, shiny ring, how amazing everything was. He said his life was far better now, and our breakup was a blessing in disguise. It hurt like a knife. Hearing that years I invested were a burden to him. When he started savoring his happiness, I bailed with a polite excuse. I wasn't invited to the wedding, obviously. Peace? Doubt it. I regretted saying yes, it deepened my depression. But life surprises you when you stop expecting anything. After months of dragging myself through each day, I finally went on one more date. I'd lost weight, looked pale and tired, thought I'd make a terrible first impression. But fate is wild. That's how I met my boyfriend, Chase, 29. He's the best thing that's ever happened to me. Patient, incredibly kind, talkative, alive. I'd always been the loud laugh and the jokes in a relationship. I thought I wanted a brooding, mysterious guy to balance me, like the cliché. Here's my advice if you're sunshine: don't chase the dark, moody prince. Find someone who lights up beside you. It's so refreshing. All my life I thought I wanted serious guy, but I needed a bright goofball. I've never felt so loved and whole. No one-sided conversations, no faux cool posturing. We're silly together and still go deep. Life finally feels alive. If I keep going, my fingers will break. It's late 2024 now. I'm crazy in love with Chase, and things are good. I moved into my own place closer to work, and recently returned to my old gym. I saw Kai there again. For a few days he didn't notice me, then he did. He politely apologized, said he worried when I disappeared, admitted he'd said dumb things and regretted them, and that if I ever wanted to be friends again, he'd be glad. That's it. It's 2025 now. I don't know if Kai and Grace are still together. He doesn't know I'm with Chase. I see him sometimes at the gym. I haven't decided whether to talk. Honestly, he feels like a character from the first movie suddenly showing up in the sequel. Weird. Maybe it's in my head, but I feel I'm on a completely different page. New home, new joy, far from my ex, Marie, and the rest. Except the Lotion Man, he's timeless. Speaking of legends, I finally showed Chase the Lotion Man drawing. My hands were shaking. For those who love happy endings, he laughed until he cried, and made it our little tradition. Now we have Soap Man, Ketchup Man, Cream Man, even Floor Man, don't ask. Anything you can draw a face on becomes a character with ridiculous accents. That's the gist. A lot more happened, but it doesn't really tie into earlier chapters. Still, dumping this out here feels like real therapy. Even if no one reads it, I feel a piece of the past finally flake off. My biggest lesson? Be yourself without apologizing always. It works. Everything changes. Life moves on and gets better. If you shine too bright for the little box you're in, it's not you. It's time to climb out of that box. I'm done apologizing for who I am. So take my long, nerdy, messy paragraphs in all their unedited glory. Love you all. P.S. I did reach out to Grace's husband back then after I moved out. He blocked me. I messaged again with proof and details blocked again. He eventually closed his Instagram. Maybe because of me, maybe not, but I gave him everything I could. So please stop sending angry DMs. Some endings are just doors to rooms you didn't know you deserved. If someone mocks your light, find the ones who warm their hands by it. Be kind to yourself, keep your boundaries sharp, and don't let anyone talk you out of joy. You're watching Boar, where real emotions tell real stories.